I feel like it had to happen for the better, and I'm glad that it did, because everybody should feel or have the experience of self-love. And I feel like if I never got out of that relationship, I would have never been, you know, where I am now. Hey guys, it's Ashley here. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your very first time tuning in, please do not forget to go down below right now, hit that subscribe button, and if you are coming back, welcome back. I have a very special guest with me today.
Hello. I am Tykeria K. Ty Goddess on Twitter. If you want to check out my YouTube channel, it is Tykeria K.
As you can tell by the title already, this topic is something that we both have been wanting to talk about for a minute now.
Wow.
Self-love, y'all. Self-love. We just want to bring it to light a little bit more for the people that don't necessarily know what it is yet, or how to portray it, or how to, you know, understand it fully. So I talked about how I was going through this self-evaluation process at the beginning of 2019, and this summer the process just, it thickened, if that makes sense. And I was like, whoa, like I had to take a step back, and I'm like, it's a lot going on. I had to kind of like take a break and just stop. Everything has to stop, and it has to be about me now, because I'm putting out so much energy into the world, into other people, and I'm not feeding myself the nutrients. I'm not giving myself the love, and I'm not feeling too good about myself, you know? I made an Instagram post earlier this summer about how it's time to be selfish. Basically in the post I just said, I am mine before I'm anyone else's. For me, yes, for me that just means like it's just time to fall in love with myself again. Now I've just been embracing this journey. I feel like it's time to talk about it now, because usually I don't like to say things when I'm going through it, but not until like I'm almost done, or I'm completely done.
That's, you know? Definitely me. It's like I don't want to give somebody advice on what I went through if I'm not through it yet. Right. So that definitely makes sense.
Because that also will like hinder your process.
Definitely.
Too. All those opinions.
Because then it's like, am I doing it for me, or am I doing it for them? To show them that I'm okay.
Exactly. So I just want to pose a question. Ty, what do you think self-love is? Like, what is your definition of self-love? How do you portray self-love?
It seems like it would be easy enough to answer, but it's hard because I just learned myself. I just started to get into what it should feel like when I love myself, and what thoughts I should have when I love myself. So self-love to me is knowing that you're human, that you'll make mistakes, and not beating yourself up for it, not doubting yourself, really knowing that you are divine and you have a purpose and you'll live it out. It's that self-love to me. That's like, okay, I know I'm the, you know, like I'm all that.
I know I'm the
I know that I'm put on this earth to do something, so there's nobody that can make me feel opposite of that. So once you have self-love, that love kind of like fills every space,
every
that you
void,
like, every single void your self-love will fill. So that's exactly what it is.
Piggybacking off of that, I've actually been reading a book. Let me grab it. Hold on. Let me grab it. It's called You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. I'll put the like link down below. I just got done reading the chapter about self-love, actually. Really? Like literally 2 days ago, and I'm like, that's perfect.
Like, this is it.
Like, this is it. I highlighted like a few points that I thought were like essential for self-love. Basically just giving us the best ways to love yourself again. For some of us, like, we've had self-love before, but it can be people that might have traumatized us out of self-love, things. The first one that I like was drowning yourself in affirmations. Oh yes. I have sticky notes all over my mirror in my bathroom. Like, I love writing things down. If I hear something new in a sermon, or somebody tells me something, or I see a quote on Instagram, I'm quick to write it down and like put it up. Or I'm quick to like, you know, take a screenshot and keep it in my phone, you know? So I feel like when you say these things, you start to believe them more. And I feel like that's a big part of self-love. The more you degrade yourself, the more you think that of yourself. Like, you're beautiful, but the more you keep saying you're ugly, you're never gonna find anybody, you're gonna start to believe it yourself.
It's like there's power in words and thoughts. There's definitely power in words. So if you're telling yourself negativity over and over and over again, you start to believe it. And I mean, that's how the mind works. As soon as you have a thought in your mind and you say it over and over again, it sticks. And once that sticks, then it's pretty much, it's like, okay, we gotta unstick it. Like, positive affirmations are needed, because if I'm constantly telling myself I'm great, I can do great things, I'm amazing, I'm the baddest, like it'll
you're gonna
like
believe
pay
it.
off. Like
you're
you'll
gonna
believe it no matter what anybody is gonna say.
My friend in high school, we're still cool now, but she was telling me I was really depressed last summer, and she was saying like you have to play reverse psychology on yourself in order in order to make it through. At first I didn't really think much of it. I'm like, reverse psychology, like that's just lying to myself. Like, why would I lie to myself to love myself, you know? But that's not what she was saying. It was more so like, you look in the mirror, you know, the first thing you say is like, oh yikes, like I look crazy. Like you need to flip that and say, hey beautiful, good morning gorgeous, and then you'll start to feel, you know, comfortable with yourself whenever you look in the mirror.
And then you see how true it is. Like, it's not like you're lying to yourself.
It's not.
Everything you're telling yourself about yourself is true. It's true,
because the truth lies within. That was another point in the book, and I highlighted, you aren't a selfish person for taking care of yourself, just a happier one. And I had to pause. A lot of people will think like when you stop hitting them up, or when you decide to not go on that date with that guy, or when you decide to not want to have sex with this guy, that you think that you're all that in a bag of chips, you're selfish, you're bougie. But it's like, no, because the higher you elevate in life, these things that were once below you or with you when you were at that level, they can't come with you. We can't carry that baggage. And it's not us being selfish towards these people. It's not us not wanting to call them, not wanting to talk to them. It's just us evolving into a new person, you know?
And not everybody is meant to go with you when you go and when you change into a new person. Everybody's not on the same path as you, so like you really can't expect people to understand if they're not on your same path. Like, people just, they're not gonna get it unless they are meant to get it. They're not going to,
unless they're meant to be like in your life, you know? Because and that, like, that's been a hard thing for me. Like, I always thought people that were once there, why are they not here now? But
I was saying this recently,
girl.
I was saying this recently.
I literally it's crazy. You know, you think like, dang, like I really wish that this person would, you know, be with me right now.
But it's like, if they were meant to be there, they would be.
Yeah, and God would place them there. But when you start to love yourself more, you got to realize all this extra baggage, you just got to cut the ropes, and
cut it out.
It is what it is,
and
you know?
Can't carry that. You know, you got to carry yourself. You got to worry about all of that later. And if it's meant for your, you know, for you to worry about, then it'll.
If it's meant for the good, it'll always come back. Finding a replacement. So in the book,
okay, let me hear this, because
okay. It says that we've gotten so used to our negative, you know, reactions towards ourselves that we never think to question them. We simply take them as the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. But once we become aware of our thought patterns and our behaviors, we can consciously change them. I kind of took the point as finding a replacement a rebuttal topic in a way. Like, I kind of want to talk on this because a lot of people, when they're in this journey of self-love, they'll try to find things to replace a void, but it's not a positive replacement.
Okay,
you know
I can see.
That's where people go wrong with self-love.
Okay, so like, just to make sure we're on the same page. Let's say there's a breakup. You break up with the person, you're so upset, and then you use alcohol, or you use drugs, or you use other people in order to fill that little void that you have.
Yes.
So that's like, okay, we have to find a replacement for this, but let it be healthy. So like, when it comes to self-love, instead of finding this love in these addictions and this love in these other people, let me find it in myself. So then if I'm in this situation again, I don't have to look for it, it's already there. I can just reach back and be like, all right, girl, let's get it together.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay, we're on the same page. We're on the same page. All right.
And it's hard for people sometimes, not gonna lie, like it was hard for me. I just went through a breakup.
Oh wow. Like
2-ish months ago.
Same sis.
Yeah, and you know, like, it's not like I wanted to broadcast or anything, you know. Referring to the point first, in finding a replacement, I didn't really know what to do without him at first.
Oh, and I know that feeling.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do because he was a person that was my confidant. Like, he was my best friend. Like, I don't really have like a group of people here that I could just call and be like, hey girl, let's go out. My boy just broke up with me. I don't care, I'm finna drink, I'm finna smoke. Like, I don't have that, you know? I don't have that. So for me, I kept thinking of ways to like find a replacement, but it wasn't necessarily like healthy replacements. Either I would eat like a bunch of junk food and make make my skin worse. This sounds so bad, but I would like talk to people that once used to make me feel like a certain type of way to kind of like get over it. Like I wouldn't do anything with them, but I would just be like, well, let me see if this person still has like feelings for me, and you know, it can help me feel better, right? And it just wasn't healthy, and I knew it wasn't because I just know, like,
see, when you know that something is not good for you, you feel it, especially when you're already in a bad place. But then you'll tell yourself, okay, this bad feeling is better than this other worse feeling. So I could deal with this one because anything is better than that. So it's like, okay, I'm feeling bad, but this would make me feel a little bit better. Or I could put in the time, feel bad for a little bit, and then use that time to build myself. And it's just like, that's not convenient.
You know what it is? You know what it is? It's because we're with the quickness. Like a lot of people are with the quickness.
Instant
and I get
gratification
it.
Is the thing.
And I get it. You know, like we're in a world of quickness. Everything is quick. Everything is, you know, at the touch of our fingers, at the pickup of our phone. Everything is quick. So I get it. But we have to learn ourselves, especially on the journey of self-love. Patience is key.
Definitely.
Because if we're trying to, you know, replace these things with other people or other things, we're never really gonna find ourselves. Like we have to take at least a year, you know, at least a year or so to, you know, be patient with ourselves and be patient in this journey and find ourselves again.
When you realize, okay, what I'm doing is not enough, or what I'm doing is not okay, that's like the first step to finding real self-love. When you realize, okay, this ain't it, like it's not working no more, I can't do it, it's not making me feel better, I thought it was, but it's not. That's that first step. So when you get to that feeling, this is how you know you're moving in the right direction. But it's just getting that feeling and having the courage and the power to manifest what needs to be manifested after the feeling. Because we all, you know, we can get the feeling and just be like, oh, okay, I ain't really got time, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't. And you can talk yourself out of doing what you have to do. But once you get that feeling, you already know.
And I feel like that feeling is definitely triggered by, not to be all religious, because I know a lot of people, you know, aren't religious, but I guess in other words, a higher power. For me, God. I feel like that feeling or that, you know, conviction is triggered by God. If you know that you're not doing something right, if you know that you need to change something within yourself or something within your surroundings, I feel like that's, you know, a conviction from God. And that's the first step, like you said, to take into self-love. So, you know, after the breakup, I was just on my grind. Like being busy is pretty much how I kind of like stay out of like mess, not be in my head too much. I started filming, started editing a lot, posting pictures.
My girl has been on it, okay? Talk about a bag. Her bag is bigger than Santa's, okay? She is in her bag, all right?
I'm really trying, but that was pretty much my way of like getting out of that and finding a good replacement.
With my own breakup, it was like maybe April, May-ish when we broke up or whatever. And this is somebody I had been with for a while. Not really been with, but you know, we had been in each other's lives for a while, and it was messy how we broke up, and things happened after I found out about this, that, and the other things. So it's like I was taking hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. You know, we were on and off. So it's been breakup after breakup after breakup, basically. Even though we weren't together for most of it, it was breakup after breakup after breakup. This is wrong and that is wrong and this is wrong. And then it's like you start to be like, okay, well, there's something wrong with me if I keep going through this. You start to question yourself. After this last one, I was like, you know what? We're not gonna be sad. We're not overeating to make yourself feel better. Because I would tell myself that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to Zaxby's and then I'm gonna go to Chick-fil-A and I'm gonna get like everything that I love and then I'm gonna eat it and then I'm gonna feel better. But I'm really sad in bed watching Netflix. Like
temporary pleasures.
Temporary.
They don't last long.
They do not last. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna hang out with people. You're gonna make new friends. You're gonna do more things. You're gonna travel. Just live life. When I made that declaration, like, okay, we're not gonna be sad about this, because if it's meant to happen, it'll happen. And if not, you see, you know, it's not gonna happen. I was not feeling guilty about taking time to myself, and I was working and I'm traveling
and your best life. She's living her best life. Follow her on Instagram. She living her best life.
I can't allow myself to
be in this sinkhole.
Right.
You can't keep like
I'm taking away things from myself.
Yeah.
And when you start to do that, it's like, girl, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like
it's like you wake up and you realize like this ain't me. We know, like we consciously know that we are better than what we sometimes present ourselves to be.
Right.
We shouldn't fault ourselves for that though, because it's normal that we're gonna fall into these you know, traps and things.
Part of being
it's just part of life. It's just part of even the process of, you know, having a relationship with God. Like it's the same thing. Like things like these are bound to happen, but to stay in these situations, it's not healthy. Like you have to know, like you have to get to that point where you're like, okay, get up, like you
just do it. I call them healthy habits. What they say, it takes what, 30 days or a month or something?
Yeah, about a month
to make a habit. So I started to do things with intentions to make them habits.
Yes.
So even if I do get back into a sticky situation or I do, you know, I'm dabbling into things, it's like, okay, this is already a habit. I'm not gonna feel right unless I do it. And I know that's the main thing that I started to be like that with was my faith, like with God. So then I noticed like whenever things were all good, I was not losing faith, but I wasn't talking to God as much. I wasn't in my Bible as much. I wasn't watching sermons as much. Once I started to realize that, okay, I only go to God when I'm in a bad place, I was like, okay, we're not trying to be in a bad place. We're in a good place. We're just gonna claim it. And then I was like, okay, I'm in a good spot. I'm talking to God. You know, God, you know what I'm going through, but we're good. So I'm gonna continue to make it a thing to talk to God. I started reading the Bible app, and it shows you like the streak you have. And I would lose streaks all the time.
Oh, girl, me too.
My streak, it said I was in the app 300 something times this year or something like that, and I was like, you know what, we're gonna keep it up. I like this. We're gonna keep doing it. We're gonna keep talking to God in the morning and at night. Once you get to that point where you're like, we're not doing this anymore, it feels so good.
That's self-love.
It's self-love. That good feeling you get. Like I get so happy when I'm talking about God, when I'm talking about traveling, or when I'm talking about the Sims. Like, that's exactly what it is.
Loving everything about you now, you know what I'm saying? Like things that you never used to love before, like you're finally like accepting, just being accepting of these things. That's amazing. Another thing my mom told me after the breakup was, she was like, now is your time. And I'm like, what do you mean now is my time? She was like, you know, you're always talking about wanting to update your wardrobe, like I was telling you, upgrading your business, this, that, and the third. She was like, now is your time to do these things. And I'm like, that's true, because when you're so secluded, I guess you can say, and conform to a routine that you had,
that routine,
you don't necessarily, it's hard to break out of, and it's hard to start doing things for you now. And it really opened my mind. Like when she said that, I'm like, girl, you're right. Like, you're right. The dude that I was with, like, you know, I loved him and everything, but it consumed a lot out of me. Like at nighttime now, I realize that I'm either reading a book, or I'm editing, or I'm planning for the next day, or I'm doing some homework, you know, getting things out the way. With him, it's like I made 3-4 hours of time just to be on FaceTime at night, and that's it. So I would be wasting time basically with, you know, him and just other things. I feel like it had to happen for the better, and I'm glad that it did, because everybody should feel or have the experience of self-love. And I feel like if I never got out of that relationship, I would have never been, you know, where I am now. So I'm very thankful for that.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy for you. Like now it's so great hearing that, okay, I know what went wrong, and then like this is the growth that I've made from that. Like just seeing people's growth just makes me so happy. I love seeing people's successes. That's another thing. That's another thing about self-love. Sis said, don't compare yourself to others. Comparison is the fastest way to take all the fun out of life. You can't love yourself entirely when you're continuously comparing yourself to the next person on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. Like you can't, it's just not possible. It'll mess up your focus completely. Because especially if it's a breakup you went through, or it's friendships you lost, and you see all these people with friends, and you see these nice relationship pictures on Twitter, and you're just like, well, what's wrong with me?
You gonna be crying in the bed every night.
It'll instantly mess up.
It's gonna eat you alive, basically.
And I mean, this is the world we live in now. Like we are easily seeing everybody's lives.
That's how society is.
But you have to remember that people only show, well, majority of people only show the good. They only show the highest points. They're not gonna tell you, oh, we went on this trip to Cancun, but we was arguing half the way there. Like they're not gonna tell you the negative. So you have to remember, okay, focus on me. Focus on my journey. Focus on what I got going on.
You know what just popped into my head?
Give it to me.
The weirdest scenario. It's like you're driving, right? You're driving on the highway. You have to, you know, keep looking in your rearview mirror. You have to keep looking at your blind spots if you want to get over. Like, you have to keep glancing at different things while you're driving. Right. But you're still remain focused, because if you lose focus, you're gonna crash, you're gonna die, you're gonna get into an accident. Like that, it's like the same thing. It's like the same thing like with life, and it's so crazy how life just connects with all these different scenarios. When you completely lose focus, your self-love is just like, where's it at? Right. Please help me.
Like, I can find all these pictures that I've saved of other people, and all of these tweets that I've saved of other people, and I can do all of this, but where is what I really need, you know? Another
thing is utilizing your time in the best way possible. This is something that I just thought of. How to reduce your screen time. If you're on your phone too much, put it down. Say, okay, I'm gonna take this hour or two to like read a book instead, or, you know, watch TV, draw, paint.
Do anything that makes you happy. Anything that satisfies you on another level that social media or, you know, Instagram, Twitter, and all that can't do.
And when you're so like clammed with a lot of things, that also is, it's not healthy for you. Like, that doesn't help your self-love, you know, process either, because you're so boggled with like, I gotta do this, my to-do list is still full, I haven't checked off nothing. Like, you can't think straight. When you can't think, when you can't even function right, how do you expect to like,
you can't live
breathe? Like you can't even breathe. When it comes to us, like young people, we struggle with self-love a lot.
We're still figuring it out.
And it's something that we have to teach ourselves, which is actually really scary. We are hard on ourselves a lot of times, and I feel like that also strays away from, you know, self-love, because if we're not grateful for what we have around us, if we don't see the goodness in these things that God is presenting in front of us, we're constantly going to be negative towards these situations. We're constantly never going to, you know, learn from these things in front of us and grow. I would just be watching people's stories, and they would just be complaining about so much, and I'm like, why is it every time I get on social media, y'all just complain? Like,
something negative to say. Like, it makes me not even want to get on.
Car situation, boyfriend, I get it. I've been there, done that. I get it, but you can't.
Is one thing.
Oh, girl.
But when you are consistently
complaining,
then you're like, what is going on? Even if you have to write it down, like, tell yourself 5 things every day you're thankful for. Start there. Gratification. Say, I'm grateful that I'm alive. I ate today. I got somewhere to sleep. Like, if you, even the smallest things, like somebody made me smile today, that's the thing.
Somebody gave me a hug. Like, the smallest things.
The smallest things, and then your list will get longer and longer. And I think, like, the guy I talked to now, I was telling him, I was like, so what makes you happy? I don't know what he said, but it was basically like, but that's not enough. So I was like, so why isn't that enough for you? Like, why we can be negative all day, but when it comes to happiness, it's harder to give a list, and then it's harder to be like, okay, since I have this, that's enough for me not to worry about this. You know, you have to start thinking, okay, all of this negativity is taking so much of me. Let me pause it. Let me push that to the side. Let me get this goodness I have right here, and let me soak in this goodness instead. So then when you have all of that, it's like, all right, that ain't nothing. You know, like, it's like, I got this. When you start to put the pros and the cons, basically, we're natural complainers. Like, we're never fully satisfied. Verbatim, he said he's okay with realizing that he's never fully satisfied with something, but he's even more happier to know that he can change he can change that thought. Like the serenity prayer. Like, God, give me the wisdom to change my head, or something like that. Like, when you have that in your mind, like, okay, I have the ability to change my situation. Like, there's nothing in this world that is finite. Like, nothing is permanent. So I can change whatever about myself that I want to change, as long as I'm willing to put in the effort to do it. For me, I believe that God is going to guide me to do it. And it's like, I have the power to do anything. Nothing is impossible. I said that the other day. I was like, it's literally crazy. I can do anything I want. Like, literally, we can be rich by next year if we wanted to. Like, no, for real. Just do it. Ain't nothing stopping you, because you can do whatever you want. You can do anything you want to do. You can do anything. My advice, girls or guys, young or old, honey, anybody, love yourself, of course. I know the question will probably be like, well, what if I can't love myself? What if I don't know how? Starting by accepting the fact that you
you know, kind of don't know how to yet, and then finding those things that will, you know, bring you to that point. Starting little, and then eventually it'll build, you know, on its own. But you yourself, you just have to stay positive through the entire thing, because nobody else is going to do it for you. The only person that we can be dependent on is God and ourselves. Faith without works is dead. Be patient with your journey, because everything does not come easy, but the good is always in the end, and there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. So you just gotta go for it,
right?
Do it, and just keep God first. So that's my advice.
Amen.
What's your advice?
Honestly, everything she said. There is going to be a time where you can look back and you can be like, I thought I couldn't, but I did. Like, think about anything you've ever been through, and then see that you're not in it anymore, and be like, I got through that.
Yes.
So I'm gonna get through this.
Yes.
Like, I've been in that situation, and now I'm in this one, but since I got out of that one, I can get out of this one. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So
I love it. Love yourself, God. There's only one you. There's only one you.
It's only one, so take care of the one
that
take
care of you.
Like,
eat healthy.
You know, be on your hot girl stuff.
Yes, be on your
hot girl stuff. Like,
you know, don't go totting and bopping around, you know. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We really appreciate it. Interact with us down below. Follow Tykeria on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all that good stuff. I'll put all her socials down below in the description box. If you guys have anything to say, please start a conversation down below. Like this video. Yes, like this video. Give us a big thumbs up. And yeah, we will see you guys in the next video.
Bye guys.